actually needed. Speaking of which, we're looking for a winner here in the very first match inside of the Candy. It's week 4, game 1 on this Wednesday evening. And of course, you guys are tuning in live through our official live stream partners, Facebook Gaming. We'll be looking at how this flight will be taking off, and we are going to be seeing a south to the, well, northeast side. And yeah, I just like how they just changed their hairstyles a couple of times. Yota, this time, going on full liquid on his hair, and man, he looks like he's from 1960s or something.
What the heck is on his hair? It looks
I
so
think
shiny at the same
Probably
time.
just water.
He forgot to wash the
Yeah.
shampoo of his head.
And also, top class remind yourself to actually wear the
What?
face mask. But this circle,
What?
holy smoke, this is just going to be a tough run. Most of the players not even dropping inside of circle. We've seen the flight path get towards the eastern side, but the circle just have to contradict whatever it is to offer. It's going to be 50% of water ratio, maybe more than that.
Yeah, and I'm looking at maybe some of the open fields between Dobo and as well as Vihar, which will be a spot that some teams want to book immediately,
Yeah.
and then like slowly work their way in towards the grounds that they can get. So in terms of the terrain, there's going to be a lot of all these contention. And speaking of which, damn cutie being stuck in between T and R. I'm not sure if this is intended, but J8 usually wouldn't have done this.
No, even if you're the top terminator of the week, I have to say you still need your team to back you up. So damn cutie stuck between 2 members of Team No Recall, no helmet, no inventory back, just 1 mat and 5 bannets. That's just gonna be tough for him. And as well as a weapon, at least he got himself 2 weapons there. But the rest of it is gonna be tough. But he needs to figure things out. Will he stay? Oh, they know! This is not great. Damn cutie starting on front. Oh, he clipped a lot of Team B Pro. Come out from behind you. He needs to get out from. Oh, damn cutie still managed to take 1 down. Even 1 kill. Goodness me. Insomnia's next. Oh, he got knocked down first. Where are the rest of J8?
Well, I guess he's all alone now, and nothing can be done.
Dung, dung. There you go.
Is J8 like, you know, that's what you get for getting all those kills? I'm going to leave you alone somewhere there. I'm not too sure what Thank You was doing all alone there.
At least he got himself 1 point for the team. So
Yeah,
that contributes a lot.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no.
Another lone unit coming from J8. I guess they're lucky that AK Esports are pretty much segregated at the very least.
I don't know about
not for
this.
long.
You know what?
Oh!
That's a
my
heck of a knockdown. But I'm not sure if you want to finish things off. He straight away find a vehicle. Maybe he even zigzag away, making sure nobody will catch him up from the back line. We're speaking of which, AKA have 1 more member behind whoever got knocked down here. But he's not planning to finish things off for Zully.
I definitely think that all he has to do is just run away. Like if you go back there, you're actually asking for a death wish.
Yep.
And Zully definitely have nothing much alongside with him. Now, the rest of J8 has already gathered up, and they are very close proximity alongside with Kingsman as we go through the open fields out there. This is on the northern side as we are heading in towards the side of Tara, and they seem to be having pretty much a very good place to loot off from. And
I think Wen has a lot to say for Tara performance here.
It's going down, right? You can't really see that signs of brilliance where they actually can just fight off these teams, because every single time that we see them, they always like to get into compounds very early on, but somehow they do not know how to play those corners properly, because they just keep getting nailed to the coffin every single time a team just rolls up on them. I think was on Sunday. I can't remember which game. It was 4 of them against 2 players, and 2 of the team I think might be from Kingsman. I think just took them down. So yeah, they have a lot of things to fix from the Tara side. These teams are getting better and better as the time progresses, and Tara is not. So they're gonna suffer a lot here. They may be stuck on the third page.
I'm just hoping Tara didn't ended up as Tara. You know.
Tara
I
boleh
just
pakai.
want I don't want to be Tara in grand finals. I want them to be Tara in grand finals. I just hope they book themselves in the top 16.
yeah, it's a very big difference ever since that they actually changed their roster, and I felt like maybe they are a lot more passive than they used to be.
They were aggressive in first week, though.
Yeah,
I'm loving Lyrian long
I'm talking about
shots.
the first season and the second season.
Ah.
Yeah, like it's a very big comparison, and the old Tara a lot more tactical. They definitely pull the trigger a lot more than how they do right now. And speaking of which, two Singapore teams will fight by the parking lots of Dino Park. Oh man, it says, okay, you are not welcome here. Steel Hearts, and Insider gets that big headshot towards Superman.
The only team hasn't landed themselves any chicken dinner. Steel Hearts right now will be denied the entrance. Only 3 members, by the way, on the side of Steel Hearts. Mind you that they already lost Superman, one of their fraggers. Zral is still well and alive. We do know Zral, when it comes to initiating a fight, sometimes he's
Oh,
one of the
no.
best, but no!
Oh, no.
Not like this! We're not wanting Steel Hearts to go down with a very tragic bumping car motions. And Psycho and the rest of Nab Brotherhood sees that opportunity. They will try to not let them go, but still manage to just squeeze out from that. Oh, man.
Yeah, Steel Hearts definitely was very lucky that members of the side of NED Brotherhood was actually busy looting. They heard the car, and then they all wanted to take a peek and say, you know, who's right there, and they are already inside Movatra, which is within the circle range. Now only 2 members. What exactly can Steel Hearts do? They're going to be playing by these frozen windmills, and there's going to be much more visitors to be expected much later on.
Actually, going back to just now, I wanted to say something that Marlino and Terra Assassino, kind of both of them played a little bit similar. But
I think
yeah,
Marlino performance is better.
Yeah, they're both kind of like aggressive in certain places, but Marlino, when we've seen them, they always get into a third-party position. So Marlino don't really take those fights head on. They always kind of just scatter around, wait for the fights to happen, then just go in for the third party. Because that's exactly what we saw a lot of in the third week. We saw a lot of Marino coming for the third party. They get themselves into the top 5, but they, again, not the ones that everybody's looking at. So I think Marino is doing it a little bit better because they're getting a little bit further. But yeah, if you put 2 and 2 together, I think Marino kind of same as Star Assassino in terms of their performance.
I think that's a genius play coming from Marlino. Most teams out there, especially the ones that's kind of in a rock bottom or in a critical zone to fight themselves at top 16, have to be more careful when to pick the fights. Not all fights necessary, but if you push to take a fight, you have to make sure you're always ready for it.
And remember, there was weeks where they were on the third page as well.
Yeah.
After getting a lot more consistent inside of Sandhawk, inside of a few rounds of the endings inside of Arango's Southern side, that has definitely seen them improve a whole lot more now. We're looking at Yudu Genk as well as RSG very nearby each other, but they are just by the edge of it. And Iron Pro has already spotted out some of all these movements out there. But this spot right here is a little bit dangerous to actually play out. But he's going to try no matter what. Yes, he spots out Braxton. Yep. There we go. Kill secured by...
Oh my goodness. That's like a couple of taps only coming up from Yidu Gang. And that's a flat fill coming out from Resurgence. Even though they have the higher grounds before, but not much terrains to cover them with. Not even structure. Bare out like that. That's a big pick that cost the whole team a lot. I am pro.
Yeah, I definitely don't recommend anybody to do that. You are basically proning in the middle of the snow, not having anything else to work with. Yes, you did spot one member, but the most important factor here is information. And speaking of NED Bro, much early on, they are already arriving towards the scene where Steel Hearts is at. Zarel is just going to be waiting here and saying, okay, I'm going to play hide and seek.
They lost, I think, as well. Now down to Zarel only.
Oh, this lonesome self. Somebody please get me out of this door. They're all playing around him. There's no way for him to come out.
Yeah, he just have to stay quiet and low.
That's short, though.
He heard them walking around the corners, just waiting for somebody to knock on the door and say, "Hello, you. How long you have been waiting for us?" You know, that kind of moment. But Zeraldo, if he moves just a bit, it's just gonna be exposing himself to us all these vultures. Now, brother, they are going for kills. I'm not sure who finished off Adik just now.
Well, to my assumption, most likely the case it will be another member of the side of NED Brotherhood, which is why they are looking around, like knowing that okay, we got one, the other one shouldn't be too far off of the radar, which is true, but they're not really checking the right places here. But speaking of which, I think that that might just actually happen real soon. But AUG as well as Suppressor inside, and Zarel knocks out on Atai, and he also will be able to get that one kill. Not too bad. Not too bad at all.
But he's still not knocked down by the team. So we're talking about still 16 team attack right now. Psycho onto Zarel. The first team to be out with a couple of kills. Hopefully he got himself 1 or 2 points. It's going to be still hard. The team that still have no chicken dinner so far will be denied again for this round.
Yeah, I think Steelhearts is one of the teams which really can't catch a break, right? Today they're playing with just 3 players. They lost 2 in quick succession, leaving Israel all alone. We can say the same about EVOS VIP as well. That last game, they lost, I think, 3 players through, I can't remember who it was, but it was the last game, of course,
Usually
Rubber
it's,
Chicken.
usually it's Kuza down.
Yeah, but they always die very early on. This time around, it's Dingo's found himself against Net Brotherhood, and both of these teams are very good with taking the close quarters combat, and exactly that. If they want to do this, one knock's going to come in, then the rest of them are going to just shower their opponent with nades.
No, this looking a huge match. Potential fight coming out from all these 3 teams with net sandwich between. They have to be extra careful not to focus because one more team just coming in. J8 taking a fight against EVOS VIP first, but this is going to be giving a lot of information towards the side of Net Brother and Dingos as well.
Coming in closely in towards the compound, Samzy will know that they are taking a step forward, but J8, they are down to 3 men only. Now, a little bit of shots have been fired across those fields, and it's going to be Nook here that will be put down, and he's not going to be taken out just yet. But they do have smokes coming in support from the side of Sen as he's walking straight in towards that smoke. Lucky enough that this sort of alignment won't be necessary as Jumper will not be able to knock Sans just yet. Just slightly off of radar.
He still got knocked a bit here, and then he's gonna probably push one more down. He half HP down there the moment he is reviving. That smoke plays a huge part on the side of Dingos. While Yudu gang, they are trying to take and force the fight out of Dingos, but have you mentioned that Net Brother across that corner. It was VIP starting against J8. We start around the corner as well. We have 6 teams, if I'm not mistaken, sharing the same compound as we speak.
Oh, Botak almost getting burned as well. He'll be able to actually pick up Zully while EVOS VIP, they're going to be moving right in, but they're still Rocky watching from the left side of the flanks. Things are getting a little bit more concerning for the side of J8. They might just be one of the first few teams to fall. Of course, you can exclude Steelheart as they have already been out in the lobby. And a lot of utilities being spent here, meaning that J8 should actually back away.
Yeah, this is a point where EVOS VIP can take advantage, right? Grow a pair, go for those fights, go against J8, maybe you can win those fights because if that is what you're trying to do, fighting very early on, do it every single time until you get really good at it. If you want to rotate all the time until you get really good. Just choose one, choose your poison, and then just go for it. So I'm hoping there'll be more fight heavy very early on because their first 3 rounds rotations always get them in trouble. Always when they're crossing something, they get shot while they're in vehicles. This time around, I think if they rotate a little bit early, take those fights, you can just work your way up, right? Fight after fight after fight. And right now, even who is it? J only has 3 players.
The thing is, if you pick a wrong poison, you're going to be the whole team of death there. But down to the next AWM drop here, we're looking at Easy taking this away with another PMPL loot for you guys. A lot of giveaway today and this week. Be sure to stay tuned and keep your eyes open because if you miss this, it's going to be no more for next week. But Easy got, knock and nick here a bit from the side of, I think it's AKA, but he has to be extra careful for Schizo because we have GigFam lurking around the corners too.
Yeah, and this is definitely a tough place for them to be. But for the very least, he can actually get his hands on some extra gears out there to just switch out what was damaged early on. Easy LX already have Fikopi and the rest being planted in the right spot. But the circle is going to be moving directly in between Double Master, where most of the teams have already expected that this definitely will be in the circumference out there, at least for even the next one. But Yudu Gang, if they are being flushed to actually move even further in, they have to take those fights against NAD as well as Dingoes.
Yeah, there's just so many teams right now at the coast. EVO's VIP is one of the teams as well. Everybody trying to charge up towards the coast, just in case the circle ends up towards that place. They don't have to rotate much and they don't have to go through a lot of compounds. But as it stands, NetBrother will have to be careful here. Behind them is actually EVO's VIP. In front of them is actually Yudu Gank. They have a little bit of a place for them to play with here. Very big area for them to play with. But as it stands, or as the circle starts shrinking, will this pin Yudu against them?
The thing I noticed, the only team that have a clear pathway for them to go towards a circle will be FV. They won't be actually crossing with any of the teams out there, and they're having a very good rotation, I must say, come up from the northern side. On J8, on the other hand, this has been going on a standoff, one of the longest so far, with NetBrother in between there, and also EVO's VIP. They have to pick a fight, like it or not, because later on, I'm talking about next of another 40 seconds, we have a huge team, a whole horde coming in. Well, we have another airdrop here, the third airdrop, AUG A3, also with a suppressor. This is a feat for the players out there, but I'm not sure which team will take this one out.
Well, I guess this one will be sitting out in the open for a little bit, but for many of those out there...
Two loots next to each other, by the way.
Like, for many of those out there that can actually get the AUG, I think this is a very deadly weapon that I myself actually like it. Whether it's a mobile version, whether it's a PC version, both are actually, when you actually use it, it just makes you feel like, oh, no, there's no other better weapon in the 5.56 category.
Yep, you just, slamming it down all the players in front of you. You feel like you'll be the next Terminator when you have AUG in your hands. I have a feeling when I play like that, but I don't know. I always get shot after that. But J8, on the other hand, they're still not making the move. I think they want to wait who will expose who first. On the side of Dobro here, we have FV playing alongside of a rooftop, getting that wide angle to cover. And I say they have themselves quite a spot to work with, one of the best spot out there.
Well, for the moment, nobody's going to be moving so deep inside of the city. I think we've had a lot of discussions about staying in urban areas in such a sort of quarter. And finally, members inside of Dingoes will be able to pick up San, as Yudu Gang was actually sending some bullets towards his way. So, urban side, usually once you get in, getting out is the hardest part, and not many teams could pull that off. Especially if you don't have enough of those utilities like smoke, then yeah, you really have to pray for luck that you don't get shot.
I have to agree, and getting yourself at the highest spot is also one of the bonus you can get, because you can see a lot of players, even though it's very heavily with a lot of compounds in between, at least you can land some shots here and there from the higher ground.
Yeah, the thing is with this type of urban ending is that there's a lot of towns for you to play with, a lot of buildings for you to play with. As soon as you get out of one, there's another one in front of you. So yeah, a lot of these teams, a lot of these players will try to get on top of those buildings to get a vantage point above all their other opponents. But look at there's so many teams towards the coast. EVO's VIP, NetBrother, who Yudu get Dingoes on the way there. So Wistar Esports from the north are heading towards that direction. FV soon to be there as well. There's just so many teams right now towards the western coast. As soon as Dingoes goes in, I think Yudu will be fighting along with Dingoes first, because Net is trying to fight against J8.
The one that's coming in late into the circle might just have a great day, because why? The Blunt are going to be a huge match, and only a couple of teams left after all the war fight ended up, and the dust will dissipate later on. FV and Boss probably will the one that cleaning up the mess after.
Yeah, I definitely think that the ones that are not by the shorelines are the ones that do have a little bit more things to actually leverage on. And of course, if the circle actually moves inwards towards that section, that's where things get a lot more rowdy, because the ones that have already booked it all the way towards the west end have got a lot of issues to settle. While we talked about FV having those high ground advantage, it's time to put it to work against Terra Assassino.
Oh, there's one more team. Also, Bosku, who trying to land themselves the shots on FV side. They have the snipe on Saitama for now, but I don't see him using that for now. Well, the rest of FV scatter among themselves, making sure they have all the covers. This is the thing about the urban places in the map itself. So hard to land your visualization or turn them down on the enemy side because there's so many corners you have to pick upon. Plus, Bosku, Tara, and FV, they are one of the furthest away from the circle. So taking this fight, maybe only one team will survive from this.
Actually, all right smack out of there, so they have to be careful here. But Cian does get dropped here. It looks like he's outside the car as well. On his knees, Tido wants to try and finish him. Oh, but yeah, talking about the urban fight just now, it was actually between Bosku, Tara, and FV. All three of them, they want to bite, but all three of them have to get into the circle as well. Look at Tara, draws first blood against Bosku first. And yeah, going back to the fight, it's a fight on three corners. Tido is still taking the fight against Gitfan, trying to slow them down from coming in the circle. But it looks like they will be able to crawl their way inside of it because yeah, Tido is the only one that's marking towards that direction. No suppressing fire. It means that Git should be able to come in.
Yeah, I back to defer because there's going to be so much more problems for them if they go southwards. There's RSG already keeping tabs on them as all these shots have already been fired out. But good news for J8 Esports as well as Evo's VIP. They're already moving right in, and on one random 420 is 5 corners of the water.
Yeah, I'm surprised how did he squeeze himself out from all this turmoil situation where AV and the rest of Tara are fighting against each other. Bosco would just stand down from this and not taking any part of this fight, while WeStar, the one is actually gatekeeping the rest of the team that try to walk into the circle here.
Oh my
This
god.
is just not a win-win situation for Tara and also AV. They are dropping like flies here and there. One knockdown, arm being finished off by Tara at that point. Kill still the way, while WeStar Carl still hovering around his crosshair to get Saitama, but Link's getting the kills too. So Tara, the one who's actually sweeping off the floor clean against FV.
And they will really want to go in towards the water.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Why?
that vehicle has the least amount of armor possible. So with Tara as well as we start shooting back. Now, Boss Scorer, they are definitely alerted about this current situation. What they needed to do is maybe take the right moment to actually move right in. So maybe both Tara as well as Boss Scorer, they can actually pull through. And with Nga already receiving a little bit of damage here, they will lose out one member in the form of Mozart. But Asper is going to be healing up, and now here comes Commitment. He spots out Romeo though, and now with memory of these members actually forcing their way through, Bosker losing one more fight.
Oh, it's going to be one by one taken down by WeStar, who just sitting quietly just now, but trying to flush things out. Bosco asks for knockdown next. We're down to Supra, panning them out. One more pan there, and it's going to be a whole team being wiped probably. It's going to be only 14 teams left. I'm not sure if Bosco entirely wiped out just now. But on the side of WeStar, that's a heavy casualty. They need to just revive and reset for the next fight here. Because Resurgence fighting against Yudu game 4 now. And Yudus don't seem like in a very prime spot.
This is really bad for Yudu Gang. If they can take this fight, it would be wonders for them. But they have to be careful here taking this fight because Resurgence are very strong in the close quarters combat as well. But they have been spotted out. They are out in the blue as well as the rest of Yudu are just trying to keep them from crossing. But it's the Kingsman as well. They will be fired upon, but Cabo will be dropped. Nice enough from Fredo, but he is exposed as well. That's Resurgence taking the chance, taking the kill on towards Fredo, making sure that they get that one kill as well. Drax trying to run away, but again, the rest of Resurgence in from behind, but Resurgence getting eaten alive by the blue.
And there's only going to be Small Boy left for Resurgence as he's trying to actually ski his way in. He's in safety, but not at all with Drax, removing out the entirety of Resurgence. And now, with only 3 members, they need to still push through the likes of NAD. And somehow, Dingoes, they managed to escape because they were in between that sort of crossfire. And now the circle has heavily favored the side of NAD. And mind you, they have barely rotated.
That's very true. They have been holding their grounds for such a long time, marking their territories. On the side of FV, I think 4-0 have the most You know, brilliant strategy out there. Not picking any fight, making sure he played a placement for the team, while Psycho trying to take down on Yudo's side, challenging them head on to take the fight here. But will they take the bait? Take the bait for the side of Yudo Gang? They will almost get wiped out here, Yudo Gang. But as usual, they are always the undying ones.
They will try to survive for the meantime, no, but Psycho is watching towards them and Dingoes as well. Yudo are actually getting clustered by both Dingoes and Ned. They don't really have any place to play with. Both players coming in from both sides as well, but it looks like Wistar has taken a fight against Terra. These are the type of fights which Terra usually loses, but Wistar now, they have 3 players as well. This could turn over his head and could be going into Terra's favor, but right now it looks like Terra will try to push in first. They have to be careful here. They're out in the open, and Wistar from one side, J8 on the other side as well. Liren, if he wants to make this fight, if he wants to do this, he has to go really quickly before the blue comes behind him.
Yeah, and now with so many of these members of the side of Yudo Gang scattered all across the map, it's going to be Manpower getting knocked out as well. Psycho managed to actually get that one going up for himself, but Drax is being pinned down. He's being forced to use all these sort of smokes, and there's very limited angles for them to even get anywhere close to Manpower, as Dingoes is just putting them even more on the precarious situation.
Oh, now tossing the Molotov on the side of Sun, but he overexposed himself just now for Drax, and Tara shooting all over the map. We have a lot of teams on top of that hill here, while Drax being cornered. He tried to revive his captain Mamparang there, but it's just a tough spot to be in. He cannot even pick himself out there. It will be headshot later with so many crosshair hovering around here.
That's what we've been saying, right? Dingoes is just so good with the quarters engagement, just so good with pressuring all these other teams. As you can see, they're right smack towards the southern side, where Net is there as well, along with Geek Fam. So they are getting pincer in, but I do think if there is a chance that one of these teams will survive, it will be Dingoes right now. AKA running in as well. We do see this all hot from AKA shuffling back into the circle from the 6th circle as well. So they have to make haste, a lot of track to cover. But at this time, JA is watching from the other side as well. AKA in a lot of trouble here.
AKA has managed to squeeze by just by the corners of the wall with 2 members and another 2 on another compound. 2 members left for the side of J8 Esports, while Wistar Romeo is going to be having the same. Now it's going to be a very neutral circle, of course, still favoring the side of NED as they can play Keeper's Watch, while Wistar Expert, of course, have bigger fish to fry. Well, 420, he's just by these corners here and holding on towards the MP5.
And nobody even trying to pick over this area right now where F420 is. He has been holding on solo all the way for such a long time, while the whole team were wiped out before. We're down to Gig Fam, tossing that nade just now, trying to take a fight against Dingoes, while Dingoes too focus on towards Yudo Gang, also Net Brotherhood. Talking about Gig Fam, what happened to them? They seems to be having a lot of fights here and there, but not much survive. While Yudo Gang, the one that tried to push first here, trying to take down on Net Brotherhood. Right in front of him going to be Drax. Ace is just around the corner. There's a lot of Molotov and also grenade being tossed on the side of J, also Evo's VIP.
Yeah, Drax has to be careful, but they're actually going towards the other side. Now Net is in a lot of trouble. The spray down comes, so essentially April gets killed on Momaparang first. Drax answers back one kill of his own. Net drops 2 there. I think Yudo will be able to survive this, but Jumper is really far from where the rest of his teammates are. Wolfie actually diving down. There wasn't water last week, so I think he wants to recover. His place still hasn't had water, I think.
Yeah, like I definitely saw that KGM, they were actually squeezing by from the same areas that Yudo Gang was coming from. But oh my, total depletion coming in from the side of J8 Esports as they were being flustered out by the blue. But there's still somebody up there, aka Esports, wants to do something as well.
Whoa!
He loves it right towards the side of Razor. Even more fish to fight as Samsey over on the other edge. Now with a sort of push inside, he will get Luxy as well. My goodness me, Luyu, somebody stop this guy! And one more inside. It's going to be Samsey looking over on the corner. He's fighting back, and Luyu goes down.
This is way too long for Evo's VIP to make a start of a move here. They're letting a lot of AKA members taking their team down on the side of Yudo Gang, taking the advantage to move forward. We're talking about them just now being reset. I guess still 3 men still standing. I have no clue how they cannot just died once for Yudo Gang. We have Wistar taking a fight against Yudo Gang. Now Romeo trying to be very safe, meticulously approaching the team that's right across them, while Wolf is still taking a dip inside the water.
Wolf is in the water there as much Romeo and Carl will start to line things up, but 420 still underneath them. So I think they're a little bit wary of maybe somebody from behind them, but it is a fight between We Star right now and Yudu Gang. Both of them above, both of them will be taking this fight. If anybody jumps down, it will be catastrophic, but then Jumper should be able to get back towards his teammates there, and it will be a 3-on-3 fight where Kingsman will be in the waters and 420 from FV will be in the waters very soon as well.
I'm probably gonna, result in a healing game for FV, also Kingsman probably. I don't see Kingsman climbing up that shorelines or dock himself very soon because we're looking at a very steep cliff there.
Oh, there you go. He can actually cut across, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. If there's going to be any sort of drop at all, it shouldn't take his life away. But they are looking by the shore, so this is going to be a little bit concerning for 420. Already being spotted out, and Romeo says, "You must go." Gonna try to blaze him up real quick, and he takes a leap of faith all the way down.
He can just stay put where he were back then. They cannot land any side on him. On the side of We Star now, next team to take down is going to be Yudu Gang. Will they get themselves 2v3 moment where they can clutch things out? But looking at Yudu, we do know when it comes to CQC or even a middle range fight, they're one of the best out there.
Yeah, and we look at what Romeo is doing. He's actually driving the car in front further a little bit so that they have a little bit of a bunker to work with. But the rest of Yudu are actually split apart. 3 of them. It means that they should be able to take these fights on all angles, while Wolfie will probably drown to death, but Romeo getting shot here through the smokes as well. Yudu wants to take this fight against We Star. They know that there's just a couple of players right in front of them, and they're going to go for the spray down. Still doesn't connect just yet, but both play for We Star very, very low. Yudu just threw one net over that direction. We Star are down and dusted. But it looks like Drax has an inkling. Maybe somebody's underneath them who is actually the play from Kingsman. But it's actually Romeo getting shot there from Mamparang. They're actually going in for more kills. Carl's all alone. He's going to try and buy himself some more time, but he's getting sprayed through as well.
We see Carl having 11 packs, and he will be able to actually hold on for dear life for the moment, although he does lose out on Romeo out there. Now, Wolfie, he's still by the waters, and Yudu Gang pretty much have that chicken dinner secured, but here comes the push coming from Yudu Gang as well, not giving him room to heal up. He says, sorry, but not sorry at all. KGM, Kingsman, they are making it to top 2 all the way in. Very unlikely ending for them, but they have definitely raked in, at the very least, 12 pointers out of this one.
Yeah, but it's down to the time now, and the blue closing in. Goodbye, Wolfie. I think he should change his name to Ducky next because he's one of the best swimming ducks down there, holding his ground, making sure he got a top 2, got 2 kills at that point too. But Yudu Gang getting this one game strong. This is gonna be the match 1 of final week here, week 4. First official game taken by Yudu Gang in Vikendi. It's fair to put Team Secret in here. They have double chicken straight in the game, so it's gonna be tough to compare them. But speaking of which, we're gonna jump down to Miramar. Here are your votes. Ooh. Oh, this is the first time I'm looking at Yudu Gang not hitting the 60% mark. And easy, man, these guys know what's going on. Well, we're looking at AKA jumping from their usual. Back then it was really hard for them to get that 6.8, but this time around they putting a lot of work here for the community votes has spoken.
Yeah, and of course we're going to be looking at this sort of flight path coming in from the north side. Oh, hey,
it's me! Hey, they don't have the Korea K-pop style contract.
When Nick keeps pushing the picture forward, look at his face. He's exactly how Aaron looked.
Oh, man. Finally, the day has come. That was university days. I remember it was a campaign that was for charitable causes, and I was just making a funny face with like a signage, like I remember it was like hashtag Stop Linus, and then like I know I'm not here to be politicizing things or anything like that, but I was like saying like, okay, you'll be like, don't have your babies look like me.
What's that supposed to mean? My God.
Man, I kind of say if my baby came out looking like you smiling with that face, I'd be a little bit surprised, but I'm kind of happy.
I don't know how we jumped from PUBG Mobile to babies, but yep, that's an interesting fact from this cast's
I love it that every single time one picture comes up, like last week, I think last couple of weeks was on the go. Everybody was just saying stuff about him, and he had to defend himself. Now it's Aronson. He's trying to defend himself. When my turn was last time as well, I had to defend myself. It's just the ops are attacking us, I think.
Well, at least they didn't duck through all my childhood photos and stuff like that. Appreciate that. I appreciate that quite a lot.
The effort to find your pictures are just, that's a huge effort coming out from them. But that, putting aside jokes and everything, FV seems like having a little bit of blunder again straight into the game. It's going to be one of the used to be Murama Kings, Gig Fam. But their throne being taken away by Team Secret these days. So Gig Fam, can they win the fight against FV? FV seems like they're having
Possible.
possibly. Well, there's a possibility of FV winning it as well.
Yeah, I think this is one of the reasons why they actually struggle inside Miramar. Like the start of the game, you were expecting, okay, smooth loots, get whatever you need because it's such a
4-0 ultimate.
yeah, I mean, they are brothers after all, and they kind of know how exactly to counter the side of Geek Fam if they execute things well enough. But then again, we've seen it time and time again. It seems to be a truce, meaning that even if it's a truce, either sides are still losing out because you are actually losing more resources in the early phases. Like sometimes you get your car snatched, you get less bullets, you get less med packs, and Schizo, yep, he's the loner in the island.
I love looking at him. He really holds up to his name. He's really schizophrenic. There's just something wrong with him going there all alone. Like maybe he sees these players which we don't see. Maybe he sees enemies here like we don't see it. It's just in his head.
He sees a chicken dinner here when the circle's not even here.
Yeah. Oh, he's so lonely. Look at that. He has the whole island to himself. It's just a holiday for him.
It seems like you can relate to this
I really
based on
can
his
relate.
perspective. But I'm liking the fact he's going towards the isolated island there where nobody actually land themselves. He just give a bit more attention than the rest of the players down there. Like, you know what? There's so many things that the players hasn't touched in the game, like the abandoned island. But looking at this very generous circle. Well, Bosco is like usual. Some of them were going down from south and some of them going up to the north, which are going to be Steelhearts. I'm still waiting for Steelheart to make their debut. We're down to the final week. Can we see them with one chicken dinner at least?
Well, if they're coming from the side of Campo Militar, I think there's a lot of challenges like the side of Terra as well as KGM. Because either sides that they take, it doesn't make sense for them to actually move all the way down that highway of Impala. So the only few options is either Crustaval or Tierrabanca's way in towards El Azahar Hills. So expect them to actually pick up some fights there. But Insider, he's trying to scout out ahead. He's moving a little bit too close to the side of RSG, while We Star Expert is in one of the prime spots possible on top of the hills of Power Grid.
Well, we Star did well just now with a record number of kills, 10 points alone in one singular map. We can see that desperation to maintain the top 16 spot down there. I don't think they have a problem if they just keep consistent throughout the whole week. But you cannot slack off even a bit when it's down to the second spot, up to 21st spot there. One single mistake a bit too soon is going to be the end of you. On the side of Steelheart, they are actually the first one. They were the first one to be out in the first game.
Yeah, again, Steelheart is one of those teams which really hasn't improved all that much in the last 3 weeks. We see them a lot taking these fights, but it doesn't seem that they are actually changing anything. It's actually the same script over and over again.
What do you think that they need to like totally change and fix for the final week here?
Stay with 4-man.
I wanted to say change the 4-man, so we both were going in a different direction there.
Man,
but yeah, there's just
harsh.
something wrong with this lineup. It's just that they really can't take fights. So if you can't take fights, go for placements, right? Again, you have either or. You can just go for one. You don't really have to go for both, like what you do is doing. But I don't know. We still have this spot out by Snap. Snap push, spraying them down, but it seems like they will be okay for now. They are behind the hill, so they should be safe. But still going to fight this off. Actually, Carl getting shot, getting the brunt of it. but still hiding it off.
Oh,
But then this fight, no! Carl actually gets dropped as well. Oh no.
Why did he walk upwards? I am really having this big
What?
question. Why is Weestar keep on exposing themselves where Snap wants them to be?
Oh, this is a very big mistake coming out, and Lord, with one more bullet, he would have faltered, and now Carl exposing himself further. Oh man, don't risk yourself, dude.
It's not going to be worthwhile. We're talking about Lord might be knocked down next. Well, Romeo, I don't see him anywhere near all these guys down there. Carl crawling himself and hoping that smoke plays a huge critical part inside of Weestar. And they have to sacrifice Carl at that point. That's just going to be a rough start.
I'm just very confused. Like, they have the smokes already. They have the smoke. He can revive him. He chooses to move further out there. He dropped everything he has. Look, they got the smoke out.
And now it's going to be Iron Pro. Iron Pro seems like...
They deserve to be relegated for that. If they were to be relegated, they deserve it.
Yeah, that was really one of the probably the worst call that I've ever seen. Going back for the fight, you already threw the smoke. Really didn't make a decision there, right?
And the funny part is he knows his friend been knocked down at the exact spot he were in. He just have to be there too.
So the things like this are what lands Weestar on the last page, on the last page of the
That's
first
right.
or second page, right? Because
We
yeah,
were complimenting them just now, praising them so much, and the next game they just have to drop the hammer
yeah,
themselves.
oh no, now Iron Bro's in trouble. He's all alone as well. The entirety of JAs are rolling onto him. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Iron Pro, your days are numbered. They even hear you, but he's still trying to get back towards Voki there. If JA just pushes this down, they should be able to get the kill up on Iron Pro, and there is Ali. He's rushing it out. Oh, okay, never mind. I think he's just playing it a little bit more defensively. Is he? No, he is going to go in for the fight. So if he actually gets the jump on both of them, he will be able to get a double kill. Actually, Voki's out of the vehicle as well. No, they both can run away now. If Zali pushes through a little bit more, he will be able to spot two players here. Resurgence in a lot of trouble.
Oh, that name might just clip Zolly. Luckily, he was jumping down the cliff on the side of the Resurgence again. Oh, the decision been made, and Iron Pro, the first one to be out. Questionable movement. Why were he then the first place? Why did he choose to stand on an open place?
Okay, I can definitely explain that. When we saw that sort of a flight path, actually Iron Pro was dropping very nearby towards this area all alone. And of course, maybe their sort of rotation plans were, okay, handing him here to say, okay, coast is clear, but now that the side of JA, they kind of have a hunch that he would do this the same, and of course, reading their movement, that's how they managed to take out Iron Pro, and 2 times in a row, he's the first player to be out.
Yeah, it's Terra against EVOS right now, and EVOS haven't been having a good game at all. But this time around, they strike first, coming in from the sides as well. Let's see random underneath, so Chef to be able to finish this off. That is one down for the side of Terra, and looks like Terra wants to take this fight as well. They are lining things up, they're pushing it a little bit further behind, but they are still in the same compound. They are ready to take this fight against EVOS.
It's Tara versus EVOS. This time, EVOS, on the other hand, they had a rough start always. But Fox has been taken down by whole team. Before this, it was taken down by AK Invicandy. Will it be them struggling? Kuza on the side. Kingsman, they got sandwiched between 2 teams there. Kingsman in their back line. EVOS have to focus on Tara. But in the meantime, getting that back bad naked towards Kingsman, not a great position to be at. They have to figure things out with such a little room to play with. Tara closing into them on the next circle. Will be some teams rotating very late, including Easy, and that might just have a go for a bit. Still hot, clear pathway forging towards the circle. The rest of them fighting and pincering, boxing themselves just to be in the middle of a circle.
That Brotherhood also got to be endangered as they are moving towards Easy's compound. Well, for the side of Tara Assassino, we're looking at them doubling them down with Tara, of course, having some of these members already being pushed out. Only 2 more remaining, and who knows, that might just be a perfect peek, but there's a 2-man inside of that small little storage, and EVOS VIP might lose us out Luxie's lot for this.
They have Havoc casualty on the side of Tara too, losing 2 men back to back, while EVOS only have Sam Z again with the microphone.
Oh no!
Whole team out. EVOS VIP. This is gonna be really tough for overall standings. 0 points there.
Oh
They
my
finished.
God.
They got 2 points. And
I'm
2
so
points.
frustrated because I saw that he could have actually revived the teammate that was outside.
Yeah.
He didn't
Why
want
didn't he?
because he wants to at least try to take down 1 more member of Tara, but that's 2 more members
I
down
think
there.
just 3
Ooh.
words. Because they are EVOS. Okay? Because every single time they take these fights, and just not, okay,
Why?
not the best, of course, because Kingsman will right behind them.
Yeah.
But as it stands, though, you have to be able to control that
Did they
compound
go
once you
down
have
with?
it.
Did they go down with 0 kills just now?
I think maybe one. Wait. I think-
Did they even get one?
I think
Was
they
it-
have
did,
one
they
finish,
did.
they had one
finished
finish.
out random or wild,
yeah, random.
wild horse. Either one of them.
Oh, even
And,
Kingsman kill still away because we have no
no,
clue.
they did not.
Yeah, they finished
Okay.
off random.
They
just now.
finished one member in the form of random, and
At least it's not 0.
even to let's look at the logic here. When we actually see one member outside, one member inside already being dropped down low, he rushed in. There was 2. Okay, to be fair, he saw only one guy.
Okay.
But another one actually sticking by the door. But misconveying of information is lethal. And over here, speaking of lethality, it's going to be Dingoes here with Bravo opening up a big one upon Grim. And 420 is still on the other corner. Sand will be protected with a smoke, but
my God.
Bravo! This guy, when it comes to clipping the members, he knows what to do. We do know Bosco around the corner lurking. I'm still waiting for Gig Fam. Are they tailing the side of FV? Bosco start to move towards the side where all the shots coming out from. They try to sweep off the floor clean. On the side of Dingles, reviving one of their teammates, try to reset for second round. Saitama still standing there. They have to be careful now because Saitama still can revive Arm, and that's going to be torn on the side of Dingles if this goes wrong.
Yeah, Dingoes actually have to go on top of the hill, but right now they haven't found out. Don't drop to his knees. AG as well getting sprayed apart. Dingoes has been kept going on towards this line, but Nuke has been dropped and he is out. Dingoes, the rest of them are scrambling back towards their vehicles. Can they sustain this fight? Looks like every Saitama right smack in the middle of everybody from Bosco. He should be going up very soon, but Dingoes, I think they'll be able to get out of there.
yeah, for the side of Bosco, they have just arrived at the scene and they will definitely want a little bit of blood, knowing that some of all these players have soaked in a little bit of a damage. A little bit of that nade does not connect towards the side of AG for the moment, but Saitama, he's just trying to sneak this one out and hopefully he would survive. Circle going very, very much in towards the power grid areas once again. And RSG, after having J8 on top of the hill, they did not pursue any further anymore.
Oh man, looking at this, it seems like deja vu for Vikendi. Those actually outside of circle, but this is at the rim of a circle. Gig Fam fighting against Yudu Gank, and QB taking down the captain. Then Manparang himself snipes. This is tough terrain to play with such a hard, I say, vision landed on Yudu with that huge mountain in between. Look at that nade lopping out from Gig Fam. It's not going to land towards anybody yet, but Jumper popping that smoke kind of exposed himself there.
Yeah, this is going to be a battle of 2 hills instead of 2 towers here. And for the side of Jumper, he definitely will be able to actually get back up while a little bit damage being done. Drax getting knocked by QB on the other end of that hill. So this is no good news because Drax got no helping hand unless they got another vehicle to actually move up. And even that tire on the top left side of the hill has already been broken down. And I'm not sure, will there be any sort of hands out there? Seems like there will be.
Oh, look at that nade exploding out of nowhere, not gonna land. With this very, I say the steep mountains make it so hard for the players to land the nades just now. You have to cook it right on time. It's all about timing for the nade to be dropped down there. On the side of Gig Fam, they are actually slowly trying to rotate on the other side of the hill, which is so hard. If they overpick themselves, they will be the one that actually taken down by Yudu Gang. But this tip of a hill, look at that buggy against all physics in the world. This is PUBG Mobile.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man, does whatever a spider can. So back to easy. Now fighting against Ned. Ned is right underneath them, but J8 wants to chime in as well. And Rocky already drops Fig down very, very fast. He's just trying to run away from there, and they know that there's a little bit too much of an engagement here that they cannot take J8 on the horizon. They have to fall back.
Man, this is going to be a very tough place for many of these teams to actually play out from. And looking at how things are going so far, J8 has been able to actually control that hill as they move out of Picado since the get-go. And this is how they actually have so many of all these advantages as compared to many of these teams. But speaking of which, that circle moving outwards of the outskirts of Monte and Evo, it's going to be quite okay for the remaining few members of the side of RSG to actually rotate over as they made a very big U-turn. But Easy Alex, they are up on the tails, and Ez right now will be able to actually spot out Damn Cutie, and I don't think that there's going to be any chance for him to survive.
Oh, the Terminator of the week will be finished off here today. That Nick won't hit it, but the blue zone will force himself to show up onto the rest of Net Brother. But Rocky, having the higher ground, shrouded his helmet that split almost.
Oh.
He got knocked down by Apel. A really nice standoff there, but Botek tried to save the rest of a team here. Can he pop the smoke? He need to revive first, but he's just around the corner. If he pop himself way too much, a bit more, Botek will be taken down by Apel. Saw what he was doing. Can he make it on time to revive? That's Botek making the shot calling. And now Apel on his knees next. But can they reset themselves? Is finish off the MQT, but tanking the blue. While we're having Is. Can he heal himself here? Because we see so many teams gatekeeping the blue, and he finished off by the play zone instead.
Man, that definitely feels very bad for those members out there. But Adek, he's being stuck in the middle of the wheat fields while Drax is the one hunting him out. While Dingo's MZ, they definitely have the edge of the circumference of the circle. And man, this is going to be tough for you to gank as well, because Boskur on the other end, there's not many entry room for the side of Drax, so he's all alone. Speaking of which, already receiving some attention.
Yeah, Bosco is right behind Drax there. He has to be careful going into this circle because it stands also Adi in front of him, so he can't really get out of here. But Bosco has the upper hand and they see Dingoes as well. So if they can catch a couple of these Dingoes when they're out and about, they should be able to get this kill. But looks like Adi already has been Drax as well as fish in the pond, and he will be dropped as well. Bosco claiming that kill. They are already at 3, and now it's Dingoes, Steelhearts, and Bosco all vying for the same position.
A chicken winner dinner. Oh man, they won't win this time. They got themselves that chicken, but now drop out from the spots quite early on onto the spot. On the side of Gig Fam, they're having all 4 men still well and alive. AKA here will have to force Tara to take the fight against them if they want to, you know, cross over on the other side. While Kingsman also sandwiching them. We have Team No Recall lurking around the corner. Weestar, out of nowhere, have one member there, Lord. While TNR got themselves this circle, Gig Fam will touch the ring. Eagles as well as Steelhearts, while Tora too busy fighting against the teams and also the blue zone. Maffing the last man there. So many teams go down so fast. We're down to only 19 within seconds.
Yeah, the terrains definitely proved to be too hard for them to actually move into. And it's really them having no vehicles, no mobility whatsoever. And a lot of all these fights have already ensued, which means that they have already busted out all these sort of mats that they could possibly use. But Geek Fam now over on towards that corner right there. They have already been kept by the members inside of TNR, while Supermel tries to go in for close proximities here. Going for the knock, will be able to actually move, but he's going to actually secure the kill. At least he takes one, but man, he could have actually aimed for Sam.
Why did he reload it there? He should have known, he should have hit just one more spray is more than enough.
Okay, never mind. We'll let that pass. But TNR right now fighting against Geek Fam as well. It looks like Geek have relocated themselves towards the right smack in the middle of the circle. The rest of them actually behind, fighting against Team No Recall. Like Geek Fam, the rest of them actually scrambling through to get to their teammates here. But his Kingsman on the other side as well, along with TNR, both of them peppering Geek Fam. There's nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Sin gets dropped really quickly.
Perfect angles coming in to actually take down members of the Geek Fam. And I'm not sure, can they actually revive Sane right there? And it seems like there's just a small little crease for him to protect himself.
Oh, that was really close. Imagine a nade being tossed down there, right? 4 members of Gate Fam. That's going to be a whole team wiped out straight away. On the side of Kingsman, they're having to angle the best paramount position there is in the game, but Resurgence, Small Boy still hovering and holding his ground here. We're talking about only 1 team members left for each of Weestar and Resurgence. They are, never mind that we still have Voki in the game, while Dingos, they're starting to fight against one more team. A Gig Fam, they have been cornered everywhere possible. Team No Recall, Kingsman, Dingos, everybody picking on Gig Fam, but no Resurgence. Still that away, bombs get wiped out and about straight stat instantly.
And look at this, RNG actually has a chance. They have free entry. Oh, but never mind. They have been spotted out as well. So as Boki will try to buy himself some time. Gonna throw a lot of smokes out there to really cover his tracks. But as he says, you can see that he's out in the open as well.
You saw how the minivan just now blocked him, even though it's not actually targeting a minivan, but it just blocked the bullet. How? I don't know how.
Man, of course, it's a lot of tight areas for some of these teams, but for the side of Kingsman, this circle belongs to them, and last game, second place finish.
Yeah.
If they can actually hold out to actually get that chicken dinner, that will be impressive as they will be leaping forward. But TNR, remember, they're trying to break through, and this is that moment for them to shine. Min's gonna be able to actually knock down Voki, so let's see whether can Small Boy do anything to actually get him revived. Sam's gonna be able to burn down as well. As you can see, Easy LX having that high ground to work with. This is gonna be perfect for them, but the problem for them, when they get into the circle, there's two teams looking to take them down.
The thing about Kingsman, they have too much angle to cover, which including Easy coming out from the high ground there. They have Dingos to worry about, Team No Recall on the other side, and only popping a smoke here. Seems like Schizo having a clear line of sight to where are the whereabouts of Kingsman. On Tidor, the other side for the angles, hovering around a Resurgence, who tried to march into the circle, will be denied entrance, a gatekeep by Easy here. But no, Weestar out of nowhere, taking one down on Easy, just now. And Easy taking one down. Kingsman, they thought they had it, but they are kind of stuck in this pit right now.
Look at Easy, they have so much control over Kingsman here. They are looking from above. Everybody's in their sights as well. Easy, you could say, have the highest advantage here because they are at least at the highest point of the hill. You can see Kingsman's right underneath them, but Easy has the hill in their control.
Well, as for themselves, they could definitely get that sort of a glimpse upon many of these players of the side of TNR as well. But the circle is still slightly out of grasp. If they were to actually move downwards, that's where Stewart Sinby Pro could actually use whatever they can have to actually get them knocked out. While Vex hanging on a threat as well, just by the lower ground.
He doesn't have anywhere to dip himself some water to submerge this time. It's going to be a very dry ground there. Nothing, literally nothing to take his covers. On Bravo's side, Tito making sure that he will not move even an inch from that blue zone, who's clipping his HP by bit right now. The body will explode or hear himself knocked down first. Dingos plays at 4th place, while Vex still trying to stay quiet, hoping nobody attracted to him for now. He's right in the middle of TNR. So if they were to actually climb on top of that mountain, TNR straight away sees where Vax is.
Yeah, I guess like for now, TNR will not really get those right angles, but EasyLX, they definitely need to pray that the circle will hit towards the south side instead, and Vex now gets spotted out as Sinby actually climbs on that roof.
Now waiting for the circle. Where will it land? Oh, it's still on the side of Easy. And I think Vax just now placed himself at 3rd place. Now 3v3 between these two teams, Easy and Team No Recall. When it comes to their firepower, both are similar to against each other. But Team No Recall, they are forced to get out from there to face Easy, like it or not, because the circle will not favor them this time.
Yeah, the thing is, Easy actually has a ditch to play with where Schizo is actually at. It's a little bit of a small ditch, but as soon as somebody appears from the front of you, where Tiana is coming from, as soon as they stand up, you can actually see them. So that ditch might be able to get Easy the win here as TNR is prepping things up. They know that they have to hit the circle, so they're going to try and drive in first. But Stewart has to be careful here. There's actually 2 players for the Easy side. No, Stewart instantly gets punished. Insonus and CP both inside the smoke, but it looks like Stewart has already been lost. Insonus inside the compound as well. They're trying to buy themselves some time, but there's no way for them to push out. Easy is just throwing everything towards the side of TNR. The nades, the boom, the smokes, everything, including the bullets, are hitting TNR, and I'm not too sure how they're going to get out of this.
Oh, Insomnia's actually reached himself in towards the loot crate, so maybe he can actually restock with something great out there. Now, trying to actually lob one towards the side of Schizo. Seems like he might just actually connect. A little bit of damage being done towards Tito, but Sinbi Pro risks his life for that. Now only Insomnus in this 1v3 scenario, stuck behind a crate, and there's nowhere for him to escape. A little damage being done towards himself as well. Now coming from the push as well, with that sort of a flank coming in from the side of mid. He might just be able to actually land the clean ball, but instead he knocks down Men right down below. One versus two, and here comes the push as well. There's very little room for him to actually work with, but he knows he's out there just waiting for the blue zone to take in. They don't have to push, so there is a little bit of opportunity for the side of Easy to recuperate as a 3-man squad.
Oh, they will not actually let anybody down, even though it's just one member left. But it's going to be Insomnus we're talking about. He will never stand down from a fight with only the airdrop crate to work with. Insomnus trying to spot on Schizo just now, but it's going to be tough. The blue closing in now. He's squeezing every health of Insomnus, which he has. He has to climb up the hill, like it or not. Or will he be playing a healing game? I don't think so. Insomnus just right at the edge of the blue zone there, hoping it's going to be 1v3 clutch, but he will try to knock down first. It's going to be absolutely easy esports circle, easy esports Tito vintage point. The crucial position he got himself to stop the rest of TNL to advance.
It's actually going towards the Gatka quarry side. So with this sort of update, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be much more different. Now looking at the flight path, we are starting off from Zanaska.
I'm liking the view from up here, but no, this time, Easy's taking the second place down there. You do 34%. But the total voters that get me a bit disappointed here. You guys can rack up the numbers even more. If you have 5 phones, just vote away with all your 5 phones. But this...
Oh, look at that bicep! Oh!
I gotta say the picture of the moon.
Yeah. Maybe somebody should start singing the popular meme song out there. Shui Hua
Kau
Piao Piao.
selamba je. That's how Jay say it. Kau selamba je.
But the egg does look like he said.
Xiao.
Oh man, these guys know how to entertain us. The observers always keep us going for the game, because if it's not for them, there's no way for us to see the amazing footage that has been giving out to us throughout the whole tournament. This time we're gonna see the fight path starting off from Sonovska, so maybe it's gonna be towards the northern side of the map if it comes to the circle.
And seeing this sort of a flight path, many of the teams actually don't get to drop the plays that they intend to. This is why Yudu Gank is actually moving more towards the side of South George first to be able to actually pull their way through to somewhere else. I'm not sure if they will actually go back to Severny, but maybe they might drop by Ruins to actually loot up. While RSG, instead of Shelter, they are going in towards the nearby the vicinities of Pochinki on the southern side. And without the existence of Team Secret for today, that will be TNR inside of Pochinki itself. And not too sure, is Superman and the rest going to be fighting right in there? And I'm seeing a lot of teams actually floating in towards Rozok side.
Yeah, but the thing about Yudu, even though this kind of circle, they might not drop into Savannah, even though they drop themselves around shooting range, but based on their previous games, I think they're still going to go up to Savannah if they need to.
Yeah, the only 2 teams that we do see dropping in the same place again over here, and again, is actually Dingos and J8. And Dingos are just so strong on Sonoska military base because they're really good at gatekeeping.
I think Nat is dropping there as well this time.
Nat
All
and
3
J8.
teams. This is the most, I think, so far we're having on the southern side of a map, right?
Yeah, I think so. I would wager with that. But yeah, it means that there'll be a lot more fights on the bridge very early on, because one of these teams will try to vie for the control of the bridge to make sure they can gatekeep. But it looks like EVOS off to a walking start again.
Okay.
I really have no... Okay, at this point, I can just put my pen down. I'm saying this, right? I do not know what they're doing.
Okay.
I really have no idea.
The thing about EVOS,
Updated
Yakuza...
school.
Oh yeah, it looks so much like real
It looks
school now.
cleaner. Like somebody painted the walls, somebody actually swept the floor.
It looks like a private school.
Yeah, it does.
International school.
Yeah,
It does.
international school.
Okay, the thing you mentioned about here earlier today, where Yakuza actually one of the most travel distance scout down there. Yeah, well, you look at how they play it. Every single time they drop, they don't even try to go for, resting out or camping out a bit, then just straight for vehicles. One side of team no recall, they won't be alone on Pachinki. Still hard to actually land themselves on Pachinki as well.
Yeah, they try to actually grab that car to actually rotate to wherever they need it to. So they receive a lot of damage, but this time they are still playing with 3 members out there.
Oh
Kingsman.
no!
Oh, boy!
Oh no!
Oh! Oh my god, into the mouth of the tiger combo. 3 kills for him if he can finish them both down, but Zra will try to pick up his teammate, but the net comes flying out. If he throws this inside, it will be over for the both of them. Actually throws it a little bit outside, might connect onto Zra. Actually gets Adi in the back. Adi gets dropped again. Now Zra will try to pick him up for the second time, but Cabo will have none of it. He wants to go in for the fight. Zra gets dropped, and entirety of them are out. Steel Hearts out at 16th place. When are they going to get that chicken dinner?
Again, twice in a row, back-to-back games, getting them that consistency to play that 16th spot.
Ouch.
That's a different different level of consistency. Even giving Kingsman, right now Team No Recall hovering around Kingsman. Kingsman, they are really desperate for the kills.
Yeah, and bad news for the side of Kingsman is that they attracted the attention of Sinvi Pro, and they are going to be able to take over. And for the side of Kingsman, they definitely must be smiling like, okay, special delivery. We already got 2nd place, 3rd place finish, and of course, you give us a head start, we'll take it anytime. But Wolfie now getting surrounded by the rest of TNR. No good news for them just yet.
Why did they leave Wolfie behind? Maybe it was a buggy, right? Just now they were on a buggy. Was it on a Dacia or buggy?
I believe that there was a vehicle coming from the side of Steel Hearts at the very least. So, for the side of...
Why did Wolfie being left abandoned here alone to die?
Good news is they haven't died, and TNR actually says, okay, coast is clear already. So, I guess Wolfie is very, very lucky.
Yeah, super lucky. He not just get abandoned by his team, but he's still gonna survive to see another day. Luckily, Team No Recall didn't whiffed out his position yet. Hopefully, they didn't land their visualization on to him. But Cabo here, another teammate of Kingsman, surrounded by the rest of Tara. How did he ended up here?
So he actually moved from Pachinki, that small area, all the way through the other side. Rocky already getting knocked, and Dingo's always the keepers of the bridge, and they are doing a magnificent job so far. Now looking to take down Zoli on the other corner as well as Damn Cutie.
Yeah, this is what I've been saying. Like, J8 will want to go to fight against Dingoes because one of them will try to hold the bridge. But now his agent has been found out. Damn Cutie really quick on the trigger there. But now he has been found out as well. Sans in his side, but he will be ducking between the grass. But he's getting shot from another angle. In from the other side, but somehow he's still alive. Sans spraying onto him, but Damn Cutie will go in for the heal. Zali has joined him as well. Bravo is so far behind. There's no way for him to help. But now in from the sides, actually Zali to provide a lot more support. J8 looks like they will be able to win the fight against Dingoes.
Oh, Dingo's taking the foes down first instead of helping their friend to pick it up. They will not try to pop the smoke just yet, but Damn Cutie, oh, he's cooking that nade. It was dropped right on smack middle of San. And also, AG bleeding out, but oh, San, that was a heck of a response. And also reaction time, but now down to Zali. Well, JA fallen down here. Where is Rocky? He just arrived with the rest of Dingo's wiping bit by bit of J8 teammates.
It seems like they managed to actually revive Rocky. At least they do have 2 to 3 members to work with there. Zoli is really low. Oh, the nade is actually dropping really low. Well, Nuke will be able to actually avoid that by hopping away. Now dropping one more towards the side of Zoli. He's the only few more members available to actually make a move. But now, Dingo's torn into 2. They need to actually form up once again. And J8, they are actually taking over.
Oh no, Bravo is too far from the rest of his team. He's being stopped by Rocky. In the meantime, AG blitz out there. Same goes for Nuke. It's going to be 2 easy kills from J8. Make it 3. Well, Bravo, he just bailed things out. There's no way for him to fight against the whole team of J8 just now.
Yeah, and I gotta say that their mistake right here, they should have actually finished Rocky. Then they will have less troubles to work with. And they wouldn't have actually pulled off such a wide angle flank. They were blind spotted when the time that they moved up towards that hill. And Bravo, yes, he tried to actually get those flank angles, but just a little bit far too wide. And now he's running towards the home base of J8, where it's mostly fully loaded.
The calling of the shots just now. It was nice start at first for Dingo's side, but you know, instead of sacrificing the whole team, it's lucky enough that they're letting off Bravo there.
Yeah, I gotta say, if GA won that fight. Okay, if Dingoes won that fight, they would have get at least 4 of the teams if the circle went to the south.
That's true.
So yeah, I think a lot of these teams will actually be thanking G8 for actually taking a little bit more, a little bit less what do you say, pressure off of them when they cross the bridge, if they do have to cross the bridge. But there's the alert for our game in Erangel. That's it. There it is. Catch the PMPL, enter the code, and you might catch yourself some of this awesome stuff for in-game. And of course, it is exclusive for the PMPL as well. So just so many ways for you guys at home to participate. Enter the and then you can get yourself some chew boxes.
The pass, the pass, you mean? The pass. It's going to be the final week for you guys to get that exclusive PMPL loot, by the way. And the chew boxes plus right traction.
Oh, never mind.
You might flip a car sometimes when you wear that on top of your head. But down to the next circle we go. It seems like school will be the one that's kind of in the middle of it. Or maybe on the outskirts of Garkar, even Puchinki at this point. But on the side of Gig Fam, taking a fight against Kingsman. Kingsman seems to be having really unlucky, migrating to one compared to the other.
Well, at least they are still safe for now. 15 teams still remain at the moment. Udugank has finally fully loaded themselves after visiting their home base of Severny, and they are looking to actually book Razok for the moment, as Fredo already got himself the spot on top of that warehouse. Same goes to the side of the rest of Udugank. And they are making this as a current checkpoint, but it seems to be a clear city for them to just hold for the moment.
Hey, I'm liking the fact that Jumper is not parking inside of a reserved parking spot inside of that warehouse. He knows that if in case somebody ambushes them, they cannot get out from here. And you know what? Mamporang just have the extra time in his hands, making sure it's a perfect parking as well. That's just somebody with, a big perfectionist coming out from the captain himself.
Yeah, they got time in hands.
They got more than enough time. Around Rozok, there's nobody contending for them this compound.
Yeah, you gotta see it though. We don't really see a lot of Udu playing compounds the last couple of weeks, right? They always play outside, taking the high ground, kind of similar to Team Secret, but they do not find the same success as Team Secret does. But this time around, they are playing compounds, maybe trying something a little bit different. Again, they have tried the same thing for the last 3 weeks, going on for this fight, going for the hill fights, trying to take similar fights to Team Secret, but they always get frustrated because they were engaged by more than one team. Most of the time when you see Udu Gang, they kind of like pincer in between a couple of teams when they enter the circle. This time around, they have already gotten themselves right smack in the circle. They've already gotten themselves a compound as well to work with. We just have to see how Udu Gang works with that. But right now, EVOS, this time around, did not lose anybody, but as it stands across the field, there's actually Geek Fam gunning for them.
Oh, Geek Fam, we do know when it comes to forcing a fight, where they are actually one of the teams that never hesitate. But sometimes it turns things around when EVOS suddenly get themselves a better compound or a better position to work with. Seems like they always start their move here. And I'm not sure if they want to get into the compound where EVOS VIP are. Or Wistar, on the other hand, having a vintage point, wide angle, a lot of things that they can see, information to relay back to as a team, while J8 just arrived from the southern side of the mainland. They are parking themselves on the shorelines for now. I think this is around Ferry Pier, is it? And now...
this was just across the bridge, somewhere near towards farm.
Yeah, but it seems like J8, they won themselves a minor fight. They almost lost the whole team, but I don't know where the rest of the Ingles were. Only left with Bravo just now.
Yeah, of course, all of them just got depleted by the forces of J8. I felt, of course, they definitely could have actually taken that fight a little bit cleaner, and they didn't really have to suffer this sort of fate if only they had...
took down Sully. Was it Sully? Oh, Rocket first.
They have Rocky being knocked out.
Yeah.
So they should have actually finished him off, and instead they actually left him there by the bridge, and there was enough time for some of the members to actually move right in with vehicles. And once again, this is going to be another crate out there for you guys to catch as well, as Maffin has already got his. So what about you?
Oh, we got none too. So, but pass, but
I gotta say, I'm still waiting for the jersey. Where is my Damansara Esports jersey? Just throwing it out for you guys. Damansara Esports, you're listening. I could use one of those.
Oh, what is happening for you? contracts.
Yay!
Well, you
know-
talked about parking,
Yay.
but not so much about driving. So.
Yeah, I have to agree. Well, there goes. They're trying to knock it over, and it turns out well. We remember last time we cast it, it didn't turn out.
Yeah, it
I
was
think it was
PPG.
PPG. Yeah. Oh, are they pulling the PPG again?
This time around, they got their car moving, or they got the car on all fours.
Oh boy.
Should
I
be
think
okay.
RSG is going to be fighting Geek Fam right here.
Oh, it seems like more than Geek Fam. We're talking about Team No Recall, Kingsman, and also AKA behind them. Probably Evil's VIP butt in as well. All the teams rotating into the right smack in the middle of circle. Resurgence, that's gonna be a heck of a fight.
Yeah, Resurgence has to be really careful. They always get caught in these transitions. Sometimes there's more than one enemy that they're looking at, so they have to be careful rotating into this. I'm hoping for them to get themselves a compound which they don't really have to fight for.
Oh,
but it looks
he's
like
not-
Romeo already saw Mamparang from very far ahead. He's actually at the Watertown
He's not open
tower.
fire, though.
But Mamparang gets spoken out, but he will be able to flee from that fight. That was really close. Romeo might have gotten the kill, but it's actually Tara taking the fight against EVOS. Now EVOS in a lot of trouble. They're only left with one. It's Laxi all alone. The nade comes flying out, but I don't think it will connect yet. He actually gets nothing here as Kuzak will be finished off as well. Laxi is all alone. This is what I've been saying. What is happening to EVOS? Suddenly just losing 3 in quick succession and they're only left with Laxi.
Well, I think Tara here also has a big problem where they need to actually go in for the revival.
Oh, J8.
While J8 Esports have heard the commotion out there, Random will be able to actually use the new terrains that was left out available. So that's going to be a very good protection spot for the moment. Well, Sam Z definitely needs that lending of a hand coming in from Luxy 98.
You know, if that's no facelift of a wrangle, Tara has nowhere to go right now. Luckily, there's a bit of rocks to work with that kind of covers whatever, line of sight. All the other teams out there, they have a bit of problem to land their shots right now. Oh, if only they have a nade, though, it's going to be a perfect toss from that angle. But J8 taking a fight against Tara and also Gig Fam around the corner. We're talking about 4 teams might just have a fight there. Random managed to take one down on EVOS VIP. For now, again, EVOS VIP. Tough spot to start.
Yeah, a perfect nade lob, in fact, and for the longest of time, he has been bleeding out there, calling for help, and it seems like the help did not arrive in time, but damn Cutie getting knocked out from that angle where Geek Fam is currently at. Remember where TNR as well as Kingsman were? And that definitely was quite an insane shot, if you ask me. But J8, they're ready to actually take over this vicinity here. They're already inside of the circle, but hey, there's still a lone wolf up on those hills that they have to be careful of.
Yeah, there's just so many smokes. They should be able to pick up their teammates there, but Laxi though, all alone in that house, as soon as J8 come lunging in, they will be done and dusted. Tara, on the other hand, has a little bit of a chance here. If they wait for EVOS VIP to get to be engaged on by J8, they can come in for the sweep. But as it stands, they are watching towards the horizon because Geek Fam is there as well. But Resurgence, though, look at where they're at. They will be meeting up with Geek Fam very, very soon as they march out towards the northern side. TNR is below them and waiting for them as well. It should be a very big fight as Zali going from behind. It's actually easy, and FV and our arm has been dropped here. 420 coming in for the flank. Grim underneath them, very far ahead. Easy should be able to pick up a couple of stragglers here.
No, there's only one Victor that will cross into that circle anytime. To AWM this time with a suppressor of assault rifle out of nowhere with no Gillicid, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be one more PMPL loot for you guys to catch up on the final week here. But a pass, bam, of 85. That's going to be the giveaway code, and get yourself all the good loots down there. If you want to be a Stewardess, if you want to be the Chew Boxer, just be whatever you want to be. When it comes to PUBG Mobile, this is the time for you to shine.
Yeah, back towards this warehouse area right below school. It seems like EVOS VIP, of course, received the short end of the stick, while for Yudu Gank, they're still trying to spot out by the Watertown on who exactly shot Manparang. And they really got to make a move soon because that circle now is clustered up in towards this tight area, and whoever's inside of those sort of the small little sections of those houses, I think that the next few circles, they will have to actually force themselves to make a move away. And Tara now getting rushed in. Wazuli soaking a little bit of damage out there. They did not fall, but Random gets dropped instead. And there's only going to be one more member left for the side of Tara Assassino. Make that none.
Yeah, it looks like you do have still very much control over this a little bit of a small rock formation, but as it stands, J8 is right in front of them. J8 lost one in, if I'm not mistaken, it was Zali who got dropped, but should be able to pick him up as well. The entirety of J8 is still 4 strong here. Luxy can come in from behind, maybe pick up a couple of stragglers as soon as you do engage J8.
You know, I'm surprised how much Luxy have been holding on to this ground for such a long time. If Tara didn't get wiped out, he probably found out about the rest of them. But J8 already marching to where Luxy is now. It's only down to timing. Can Rocky spot him out around the corners? And Luxy just beside the stairs. And he takes a prize, motherfucker. And now one knockdown. It's going to be Luxy against the whole wall of J8 here. They try to climb up the stairs here. They do know with the smoke, it's going to be so hard to land their shots onto Luxy. But even toss nades, it's going to need Rocky next to it. Can he land on top of him? They cannot climb up the stairs. They know the nades will hurt them a lot. And now down to the mercy of J8 to let Luxy go or fight him. And why did he reloaded there? Why?
Oh,
no.
Speaking of happenstance, one of the worst plays possible for him to actually reload. He should have reloaded first.
Before he went down there.
Yeah, and I guess his days were already numbered anyways with so many of all these members coming in, and now we start expert on those creases out there. Jumper trying to actually shred them off inside the smoke, while Lord definitely has been knocked down, with even Kingsman members going to be flooding right in as they are already making a real big rotation with only 45 seconds to actually book their new way in. A few more lobs of nade towards the side. Superland as well as Carl. This does not look well for Restart Expert.
Yeah, Restart Expert have to kind of just go away from this fight altogether because they are getting needed. They are getting shot by the side of Yudu. Again, behind that is actually Kingsman. There's no real way for Restart to run away from this other than taking the fight to Kingsman first, taking them down, and then just rotate around because there's no way in hell Yudu is going to allow them to run away. And that's, again, another nade coming into the Restart side. They're dropping like flies. They have nowhere to go. They're going to try and fight out, but Carl gets dropped as well. Fulan right in front of Jumper as well, but Jumper actually taking another step behind here, making sure that he doesn't get flanked as well.
The moment smoke dissipates, it's going to be clear vision on top of Yudu gang and also Kingsman to see the rest of WeStar. Right now they're down to 2 men with the blue, which is going to hurt this time quite a lot. We're talking about the 5th phase, if I'm not mistaken, of a circle going on at the moment. Resurgence right smack in the middle of a circle. Can they withstand where their fortress are? Because GigFam and Yudu marching their south towards the side of Resurgence. There Kingsman fighting across path of WeStar, who's struggling to get inside of a circle where the other partner already get into it. Oh my goodness me, this is really close.
So close.
Oh my god, WeStar still fighting against Kingsman. Yudu already left and said goodbye. Let you to fight alone because Kingsman are in a lot of trouble here. But JA pushing in, QB gets dropped as well. It looks like they might be able to win this fight against GigFam as they finish him off as well. Gig only left with one player here as J8 search on towards them.
Well, with so many of all these players actually forced to make their way in towards the north point of the circle, it seems like Hitchup will be able to actually knock a member right there. Even Atai is dropped on the ground. Easy Alex having a really good time to actually take down members inside of Net Brotherhood, while J8, GigFam, Yudu Gank, all these Titans that we see in the top 5, they're all smacking towards that area right there, and Vex has already been spotted out, and there's not much places for him to actually squeeze right by, but Boskur also having a little bit of a problem right here with Drax knocking down on towards C. What a spray that was as he was using these short slides as well. Romeo trying to his best to actually book his way in, and Vex definitely have heard those movements all the way across. But Boskur, they're being pincered all the way through by just one member of Yudu Gang.
Perfect spray by Drax here, holding a huge wide angle only by himself. This is not going to be easy for the teams that try to march themselves. Drax, even Bosku being knocked down Asfar there, and WeStar managed to fight and kill steal away Bosku at the same time. This is going to be topsy-turvy all around. Big mess for so many teams still inside of a circle.
Whoa.
And the fact the circle doesn't favor anybody else than just a Resurgence. This seems much to be their game.
I'm not too sure about that because there's so many teams that wants to be in the middle as well. If they get pushed at the same time, this is going to be real bad for the side of RSG. But hey, Geek Fam. They're stuck here with Day 8. Nowhere to run until this fight is going to be over and done with. Mampart's going to be able to actually knock Mozarto. Well, Damn Cutie still looking upon those heals, looking for members of the side of Flash Vision as well as Resurgence, as they know this is going to be a tough hill for them to climb eventually. And there's only 10 more seconds before they need to make a move. Can they actually move out? They already got 6 kills already underway, and Resurgence need to play that perfect defense.
There's just so many people already inside the circle here. Gizmo's Vex still very much alive. We start coming in from the sides. The only one player left for Romeo. Resurgence still 4 men strong. J8 all inside compounds. As Yudu come pushing through, Geek Fam might be in a lot of trouble here as Yudu trying to rotate around them.
Oh, the thing about Resurgence, they have the higher ground, have the most vintage point down there. But in the meantime, even though they got the higher ground, they don't have that much cover to work with. One more team out. It's going to be Dingles at 11. Yudu, on the other hand, they are on a rampage. Their kill points and all the feet just mostly formed by Yudu. Even Fredo get Geek Fam there, but Bosku start to move against Jumper. Easy also taking a fight against TNR, but Geek Fam, they're trying to deny entrance of Yudu gang towards the higher ground there, and they take Damron. Nowhere to run. He being cornered every way possible. Well, we're still talking about teams one by one, knocking down, sweeping out clean by most of the teams. This is just going to be a huge World War III on the run.
Yeah, there's still so many players left alive with such a small area of vantage point for many of them. Saitama trying to knock down Iron Pro, while Drax will be able to actually take out Geek Fam. So they will sit at 9th place, while another team also bites the dust in the form of Any Neighborhood. Yudu gang now have to push through members inside of Bosker. Oh, the damage is good, but Jumper goes down as well. Bosker will be eliminated with only Manpower left behind for the side of Yudu gang. It goes topsy-turvy, and every one of these players are trying to actually make their move in. Day 8 now, pushing towards the side of Resurgence. This might just be a really good time for the side of Day 8 if they can actually get that perfect advancement, but they're looking towards the side of Yudu gang as well. Meanwhile, over on the side of the other corner, we do have FV here trying to take on the side of Easy Alex. Mamparan will be able to get the knock onto Exuli, so Resurgence is still going to be safe.
Oh, in the meantime, J8 still not letting go for Yudu gang. They're trying to struggle themselves, fight, pincering around Resurgence and J8 at the same time. While FV taking down Easy. Talk about Yudu. Jumper still managed to knock one more down on the side of Fredo there. Damn Cutie on his knees again for many times. Just this one particular match. While Easy taking a fight against FV. Fredo just trying to shut down whatever the rest of J8 has to offer. Team No Recall still not done with Easy in the meantime. FV just butts in. Now J8, how can they get into the circle without being obliterated here?
Yeah, Bora is all alone here. He gets finished off as well. Easy is up on the horizon. Going to be battling against Yudu now, but they get dropped instantly. Easy are out. Yudu is just ramming on towards everybody, taking them down like flies as Voki will try to survive for the meantime. Only him and another player alive. There's 3-1-2 but he's from behind. Jumper goes for the spray down. Will connect a lot of the player of Resurgence, but still hiding it out. Resurgence and Yudu, let's fight it out on all angles. Oh my god, Jumper gets that instead. What the heck is happening to Resurgence?
Resurgence now only have Voki to actually plan this one out, and he needs to actually make a move. He's already getting a lot of damage upon him as well, and there's no way that he could actually outlast this. Y2K sacrifices to get all the information necessary, and suddenly RSG only down to 1 man. TNR, they have all 4 together, and they definitely want to take out Yudu gang first.
But Yudu gang have whatever space they need to actually reset everything, but Saitama might be the thorn alongside of all these teams down there. They have no clue. There's 1-man squad, 2 of them, FV and also Resurgence, playing it very quietly for now. Team No Recall right at the rim of a circle. The next circle will actually cause out who will be the victor this time. Either Yudu gang having the 3-man squad on their side, or TNR 4 men still well and alive, except for Stewart being knocked down for now. Do they have mats to outlast this, or even just resist a bit more when it comes to the next phase?
For the second time, it looks like TNR has the advantage, but they will be punished by Jumper. And the second guy, Ryan, has also been spotted out. It looks like TNR have to lock a couple of nades here because they can't really take this fight. As soon as they pop their heads, Jumper will be able to see them. So TNR again placing themselves top 3. They are in the top 2 right now, but they have the man advantage. Can Yudu fight against them? They have the high ground circles with them as well. They don't have to move much, and Yudu is coming in from underneath.
Now, with Jumper already pushing through, he's going to be beating against Stewart 9K, and Stewart will be able to actually get the knock 1-for-1 in Soundness, and only Fredo left. All the members rushing for chicken dinner, but oh no! Steeler gets knocked as well. Ryan going down really low as well. 50% health. That was down to Simbi Pro. Fredo, one person left. Giving the execution. Yes, it will be. Team No Recall celebrates their chicken dinner after a long hard push through Patinki.
My God, they might just lost that one game because of Fredo again. Every single time is critical at the last battle move or mistakes done by. We're down to the final game of day one, final week in week 4. Sunhawk, small, very fast, and also will there be any first blood? Again, the total votes.
Wow.
First time in history of our entire league. One team take away the crown from you, the gang.
Well, I gotta say, this is very, very impressive, and EasyLX have garnered so much support. I don't know where exactly is it from. Oh man, this is more of Jay Hunter when he had hair.
Once upon a time.
I like the one where Nyek was actually posing out. It reminds me of those year 2000s where everyone was on those,
He was an
emo
actor,
era.
That's
Yeah.
like below that. That's My Chemical Romance, and then moving up, he has a little bit more hairy. But I gotta say though, his mustache though, nothing in the middle. Kind of looks like his mustache is fighting each other,
You
right?
know, looking at that, Janda has a lot of, you know, he had a lot of issues back then, changing his style and character by time.
Yeah.
Emo, looking macho, and it's gonna be hard in circle. God save me.
The hairier, the
Why?
merrier.
Well,
we do know this circle. Just make sure that all the players going in one direction.
there's still chances for maybe boot camp, maybe
Ah.
side of you
why
know,
are you giving people false
Charlie.
hopes?
I mean, I wouldn't say Charlie, but Alpha. So
Hatin and Hatin and Hatin.
yeah. Oh, okay. I mean, the players are used to this anyway, so it's gonna be pretty okay. While we are looking at the interesting start coming in from the side of Yudu Gang once again, taking multiple areas of the map, and Manparang is all by himself. Already stashed up some loots from those villages, and he still did not have any helmets to work with. So a little bit concerning, judging from the fact that he has very little stash of loots, and he will need to eventually face some members from the side of J8. But J8 is of course busy looting as well, so he can definitely buy a little bit of those moments. Let's see what kind of stash do we have. We got Pan, we got more M16 bullets for himself, and yep. Just a whole lot of stock.
The fact that you to drop right across where J8 is, are they planning to take down J8 the moment they stock themselves and build up their loot down there?
The thing is, I don't really see that happening because there's just too many small compounds which don't really yield a lot of loot. So I think it's going to be hard for them to take these fights. I think it's just that they're trying to get themselves into different positions, solo players into different
Hey, I'm
positions
liking this back.
where they can provide support. And that
Oh, yeah.
actually looks like
It looks
what's
like
it called
what is it?
a knight's what's it called?
A helmet.
Helmet.
Yeah, no, there's another word for it. I can't remember. Yeah,
Helmet.
I think helmet is okay.
That's rare.
Yeah.
We don't see that too often.
Yeah, I think pretty much one of a kind, and you guys could definitely get some swag too by, of course, topping up some UC. Well, we are not really seeing all too much of the other sort of variations in terms of sort of the clothing, because everyone's is actually wearing what you guys could actually get from that billionaire crate, but all the players say that they really love this one, and currently what they're wearing is just a 30-day suit. So they want to get their hands on the permanent one. Yeah, you
It's
guys
so
got the
rare.
chance to do so. These guys are busy playing the game, so of course, get the chance whenever you guys are ready. And Izzo, Willie.
Woo! It's just a stun. Oh, you know what? I remember the last time, I think it was last week, the flying motorbike ended up
Yeah.
really up in heaven
Who
after
was
that.
flying? I remember Bart
XR.
shot him down.
X-Arm. This is so cute.
I know, right? The most cute one, I think, is the
The
Duck
chicken,
slash
the duck,
Hey,
yeah.
why did they
Duck
switch
slash
off the skin?
Oh man, come on guys. We're loving the skins just now. It was adorable with the cat.
I'm like angry. You guys should entertain us.
Yeah, now it's gonna be the boring boat. Man.
I guess they want to camouflage by the waters, but if they spot you, they spot you.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
like
pretty much it. It's not like it's blue color.
But the best one was still the ducky.
Yeah, the ducky.
Yeah, that's the most. Is it the ducky or a chicken?
We were still having this conflict.
It's
Yes.
either a ducky, a rubber ducky, or a child chicken.
A child chicken. Child chicken it is. Oh, down to Bosco just now, they're not performing very well. They are really in a tight spot when it comes to overall standings. None of the team that in the middle bracket, I say, even on the first page, second place onwards, down to 25th, cannot afford to make any mistake. The mistake that most fatal will be the first one to be out.
Yeah, Bosco again, they've gotten themselves a little bit of a better standing. They are at, or they did start the day with number 12. So yeah, they were doing good as well in the last day off last week. They got themselves the chicken dinner as well. So yeah, we're looking at them like we're looking at TNR, right? They've got the chicken dinner on Sunday. Is it the day that that it shows that they can improve and be better in the next coming weeks, or was that a fluke? I think that is the question on everybody's mind.
Oh, when we start here, trying to start a fight against Gig Fam, trying to make sure they have all the pressure. Only one member of We Style, the rest of them will join in Romeo very soon. We're talking about Gig Fam. Are they trying to take the fight head on? Because if they don't want to take this fight, they can just bail it out. Is it the right call to take the fight here? Because we start coming out from the high grounds.
Yeah, I do think that for the side of Geek Fam, they do have the bridge solidified, and they could definitely hold on to it. And right now, they spot out Superland as well. So full information for the side of Geek Fam, which they could definitely use to full advantage. Meanwhile, for the side of We Star Expert, it's still quite a long shot to spot out the rest of them that's across the corners of the hill. And for now, at least if QB gets any sort of knockdown, there will still be Sane that's going to be across the corner to be able to save him, while this M249 will be lurking by the corners of the hills of Alpha, and of course, more codes to give away.
Oh, you know, this is like the best league ever. We've got so many giveaways, so many freebies down there. If you guys are not sharing this stream, I have no clue what you guys been doing. Come on, guys, drop your support and hashtag away the team that you are supporting.
Oh no.
But we're looking at Kingsman taking a shot down on Resurgence Voki. I don't know what's happening around the corner, but I have to say I'm liking Kingsman starting on the third week, including this week here. They have been playing very great.
Yeah, and Voki's all alone. I'm not sure if Iron Pro can lend a hand, but he's all the way uphill. And now that Voki's on the Oasis side, he's slowly bleeding out. But I do think that there's still chances for them to actually go in for the save.
If they have the smoke, though. They need the smoke.
Yeah, it seems like there is somebody running across, so they should be able to save him.
It's a clear view for Kingsman to finish off.
Oh, I knew it.
Taking down his next to be Iron Pro, who's bleeding really low. We're talking about Wolfie taking all the shots. Open vision for the side of Kingsman. This is perfect view for Kingsman to take down on Resurgence side.
Oh my god, they didn't have any information whatsoever about the locations of the play from Kingsman. They came in running. They came in a little bit there without information, so Iron Pro will be finished off by Wolfie as well. It looks like Resurgence already dropped 2, if I'm not mistaken, players, and it looks like Small Ball will cut his losses as Voki gets dropped as well. Yeah, they're cutting their losses right now.
I think it's only remaining Small Ball on the side of Resurgence.
I think there's still Y2K somewhere in between, and this is a bit too stretched out for the side of RSG, as now they will have to work their way across. And Kingsman so far, good early games. Last game, they managed to spot out Steelhearts well, of course, with an unsuspecting visit. And now that Wolfie is, of course, prepared for this, I'm not too sure whether or not can Small Boy actually win the scuffle, because Insider is still by the corner of the bridge, getting ready to attack. But if he can actually get a drop on towards Wolfie, this will be a very good chance for the side of RSG to actually redeem themselves.
Yep, the rest of Kingsman quite fast stretch and quite spread it out down there. We have 1 versus 1 for Resurgence versus Wolfie, but in the meantime, we're talking about one more member. It's going to be Y2K arriving, making sure he can flush things out here, and the vehicle almost blown up too. Where are the rest of Kingsman? Seems like they are a bit delayed when it comes to giving an extra hand. It's going to be, with a shotgun just now.
DBS! The first DBS kill! Yes, bingo!
Wow, that's right in the face.
That was fun to watch, but now Resurgence have claimed themselves alive. Is that enough though to get themselves into as a top 6? Can both of these players survive as Dingoes are swimming around? AKA has found them.
Oh no.
And the fish is in the barrel. One by one they will be finished off. Nook is there as well. Snap doesn't even have to go for the loot because they've already gotten the kill. Sun is in the waters as well. Dingoes are finding it very, very problematic for them to get onto the shore.
Man, the corners of Tambang is definitely going to be a little bit crazy for them to actually move across from, especially for Bravo. He's now all alone, but at least he can walk his way through. This is a perfect drop for anybody on this hills of the temple.
8 times ghillie suit AWM. That's full set of it.
Yeah, and FV, they can actually take this sort of crate and start sniping on towards We Star Expert.
That's very true, but we're waiting for them to actually take the loot on. You know, when it comes to getting an airdrop, everybody hesitate for a bit because they know somebody will try to snipe them down for far distance.
It's not actually cover, right? There's the red smoke. The loot is really big as well. You can even use it for cover. Yeah, you gotta say it's kind of huge there, taking, and a lot of people can actually see it. But it looks like KGM Kingsman still wants to take the fight against Resurgence, and they already backed off from that spot. They already backed off from that compound. They're actually a little bit further behind near those bridges, and where, oh my god, Insider, do not do this to me. If he actually gets a kill from here, I would be amazed. And I would drop my headset.
This is going to be super interesting. We haven't seen bridge camping or roadblocks for some times. Maybe he can pull something off, maybe a surprise, you know, present for all the players that try to cross him. But on the side of TNR, we have so many teams rotating very late into the circle, including Dingos, aka, who swim over for the side of this Moai Island towards maybe Hatin, but maybe in the middle. Probably not going to be hard thing. And we're still not sure about where will the circle ended up be because still edges of all the other islands seems to be inside of it.
And for now, AKA, of course, will be able to actually cut by at the very least, and they got a lot of grounds to work with. Meanwhile, Evo's VIP has already arrived to another section. I believe this should be Cow. Yeah, it seems like they have hit the northern section. But usually this area will be well looted up already, and there's nothing much that they could actually get out of this one, where NED is, well, they are actually making a move.
I'll probably need a replacement of one thing or two, maybe just that helmet. If level 2 of everything is quite decent enough. On the side of EVO's VIP, we do know whenever they hop into vehicle, that's where they got that shot.
Yeah.
So hopefully it didn't result into the same history
so
again. But
no.
Saitama... He's
just doing crazy things.
He's just Saitama stuff, you know. And Schizo as well.
I gotta say, Schizo really true to his name, but right now he will be shut down by Grim. Grim spots him from the other side. Schizo will be finished off as well. He's down, he's out. We actually get stolen by Geekfam. Geekfam across FV as well, and Easy is right smack in the middle of them.
That's a lot of work put in by Grim there, but yeah, you know what? Sometimes the one that being attacked, but it never so bad for them. Geek Fam easily get away with that kill, but now Saitama overexposed himself at the edge of that cliff, and they do have the higher ground, but if they were to climb down this, it's going to be a huge problem coming up very soon.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the members of the side of FV. At least they do have so much of all these high angles. Not really easy to actually land those shots in towards the campsite. While anyone who wants to push through this mountain, they will get clipped by most of the members of Flash Vision. While EasyLX, of course, they lost out Schizo, so they will play it a little bit more passively. While Thick OP being all alone closer towards the side of GeekFam, I'm not sure if they would recuperate and, of course, regroup inside the same shack. But for now, Flash Vision actually has a lot of things going on in their favor.
Yeah, with this vintage point, pretty much very paramount for them to get these positions. But down to the next, add another AWM. I'm not sure why there's a standard quick draw mag inside of it, but you know, it can be handy for your secondary weapon down there. For another PMPL loot chance here for the finals. Final week and the final game. This is your last chance to get away with a lot of permanent set and a couple of chew boxes to wear on top of your head. Like Gwen always said, you're going to be super pro with that chew boxer, by the way. And we're down to Sunhawk here, where Kingsman, still 16 teams in tech. I say Kingsman, if they camp this one now, probably they can. I'm liking the fact they have consistency.
Yeah, I definitely do like the fact that they do have that, and Insider is actually keeping watch on towards RSG. Now, circle update, let's see where will it fall upon. It seems like RSG would still have that circle, but like you said, very much Hatin-centric, and for Yudu Gank, they are in a very good position, especially with J8 needing to cut across through those waters out there. They can definitely go fishing.
Hey, I'm surprised Yudu Gang actually actually cross that river first before J8 does. They were actually dropping, you know, way back where J8 was back then. But they kind of read the circle quite right for the side of YouTube. If they kind of rotate a bit late, they will be the one gatekept by J8. On the side of Dingos here, they had a bit of heavy casualty, losing Nuke and AG straight from the start of the game, only left with Bravo and Insan. But we do know Bravo and Insan, they can clutch things out when things are really, really dicey for them.
Yeah, Dingos is one of these teams, right? They are perfectly balanced. I would say that they know how to get themselves into the last circle. At the same time, they know how to really take fights. They're not the best out there, but fairly consistent. Right smack in the middle of the table, they are always there. They know how to take at least 3 out of 5 engagement. They win. That's a really, really good chances, right? If you are like 70% into it, as soon as you take the fights, like you have 70% on your side. It's the type of fight that you really want to take.
I'm not liking where Still Heart's actually sitting this one. Like, you don't want to be all members inside of a compound with no information about whatsoever going from the outside.
Yeah, now of course they also need to actually make a move. Same goes to J8. So it's either they take the bridge or they take the waters, and water seems to be their only choice right now because the circle is already closing all the way in, while AKA they are actually sharing very close proximities alongside with WeStar Expert, and Steel Hearts will be able to actually get a glimpse over the side of Wada, will be able to actually take him out as well. And Damn Cutie already being alerted. Zully is going to be the next one on the chopping block, but he'll be able to actually get a little bit of cover out here. Same goes to the side of Rocky. Now they're fighting back.
Oh, knock one more down. Zully will take down on Adik here. Now they're down to 2 versus 3. He was against the odd just now, but finish off Adik. Zully right in front of him. He knows where to aim and didn't hesitate. Didn't even whiff that bullets over the last ones. Don't want to waste too much. While on the side of Jay, they are done with the fight. They want to just swim over with Damn Cutie guarding around there somewhere still. Oh, he still managed to go against Steel Hearts 2v1 here.
Yeah, it looks like J8 wants to do a little bit of revenge against Steelheart after losing Botak very early on. Supermas rushing towards his teammate as well. As Ross a little bit further up front, J8 having full control of this as they are spread apart, all 3 of them taking control of all these areas. But it looks like DamQT has been spotted out by Zraz, going to run the other way to try and buy himself some time. He does see him, but DamQT getting shot there by Supermal, especially that. You already saw him from a mile away, finishing him off, and the rest of J8 actually already crossed the waters. There's no way for them to actually help DamQT here.
Oh, they cannot. I think the plan was Damn Cutie to cover up for Zully and also the rest of J, but wait for that for a bit. Udu gang seems to be in CQC with Kingsman. I'm surprised Fredo got knocked down first. They try to rush in, tossing the nade, try to cook it up. Looking for the rest members of Kingsman. Vax will be the aim for that nade, but will it drop a Kobe? Half HP gone there.
Well, for the moment, it seems like Fredo will not be able to be rescued anyways, so they will have to give one out. Cabo trying to actually secure that kill. Meanwhile, Kingsman so far has been playing very well. This is going to be the 3rd kill, 1 in the form of Udu Gank, 2 in the form of RSG.
Oh, Kingsman doing great so far. On the side of Udu, I'm not sure if they still want to take the fight, but everything is possible for Udu's side. We do know they work best in pairs, and they have 3 men, so it's more than a pair. On the side of Hearty, it's going to be the circle right smack in the middle of Tara, who happens to be still have 3 members there. I'm not sure what happens to one of the members for Tara. Researchers might swim over towards Hearty, while the rest of them have to fight, while including Steelheart versus J8 is not over yet. Zully managed to knock one down. We starting to fight against another team, but Stroud. Zully right around the corner. He didn't see that. Ooh! Man, that was damn fastest reaction time from Zully.
Oh, that revenge was served in a plate. Now it looks like Evie will be fighting off against WeStar as well. WeStar already got themselves above the hill, but it does get spotted out. Romy gets dropped first. Going for the second fight. They will be able to get the sprint up, but no, he's very, very low. They are playing in the time, but WeStar loses another player here. And Exam will try to jump over it, but he's all alone here. WeStar player, only 1 player left.
And Zach's going to be going in for the push. It's going to be a big wraparound coming in for the side of... Oh my goodness! Reloads perfectly in time, and Zach closes things out. And I didn't expect WeStar Expert to be depleted this way. Hey, that guy, he played it perfectly through the wall.
That's very true. And play around the corners. He knows the timing so well. FV finally, It's so rare to see FV winning a CQC, and they are doing it well for final week day one here. On the side of Kingsman, the other hand, they lost Woofy straight off from the start of the game, while Tara seems to be having a very rough day today. We have Geek Fam around the corners too, but are we actually looking at only 3 teams? I think it's more than them around the compound.
Indeed, and right now, Drax spots out Zach as members of the side of FV. They try to actually crash in towards the side of Hat-Tin. Now, Kingsman is sending those bullets straight towards the side of Drax once again, but they are reloading, so Drax does have a little bit more breath of air to actually inhale, while Jumper is a little bit further. He doesn't really get those angles from the other edge. Now, with 3 to 4 teams around this section here of the side of Hat-Tin, Yugen tries to squeeze by, but they spot out the rest of the members of AKA.
Who just climbing down from the higher grounds. There's no way for them to have covers there. You know how bare grounded that is.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere to hide from the bullets showering upon them.
Yeah, Jumper is actually in front as well. He has spotted out the rest of the AKA. They're going to be able to flash them out as MQL is ready to drop down on the floor. Snaps coming in from behind. I think they have an inkling of where Snap is as well. Coming in from the side, has been spotted out. I think, yeah, there it is. Spotted out as well. Very low, and Jumper will finish him off. AKA are left with just 1 player. Somehow, Yudu still survives.
They just gatekeep this one and having a lot of freebies on this side too.
And we are looking at Lu Yu from the top side of the hill. He knows he can't get in, so he's just trying to play the healing game for now. While on the bridge, we are looking at NED, J8, TNR. This place is just a big, huge mess with TNR actually taking down 1 member off the side of Resurgence while being added. And Voskor, oh man, TNR, they're unstoppable. But although they do get so many of these knocks, they haven't really secured those kills. And Ryan goes down as well, leaving only Stewart 9K being alive. Voskor might just actually win this fight, but with Atai also chipping in, this might just be their saving grace for the moment. TNR, they try to hold on, but with QB also landing a nade on towards Asta, things are not looking pretty. But Stewart 9K finished off by RSG.
Oh man, where did that bullet's coming out from? And that brother just gatekeep this place very hard. Walking off Yudu gang. Net is just really on a rampage. They are stopping all the teams who try to mark themselves towards the other side of the island. One small boy bleeding now. There's nowhere to save him. Rocky seems like kind of tough to lock himself on the higher ground right beneath Tara Links there. Tara gatekeep this one against all the teams that try to land themselves on shores. This is not going to be a pretty sight for most of the players that try to cross over this river.
Yeah, Net is actually trying to cross, but right in front of them, it's actually Lynx trying to hold them down. So they're eating the blue for the meantime. Once they get inside the circle, they should be okay. But right now, Lynx on the side is actually EVOS VIP.
Yep.
Oh my god, the circle is right in front of Lynx. EVOS VIP as well.
It's like 30% of land only, more water ratio than the land itself. Resurgent plays themselves at 9 players. You're down to 8 teams. This particular circle is so tough to play with, but if you're swimming, you might survive.
Man, I'm not too sure how exactly this ending will be like. They might just actually go for a dip at the very end, but that's going to be a very good nade landing towards the side of Snipes' window. He will be able to avoid that, while Sam Z will be able to knock down 1 more member from the side of Geek Fam in the form of Damn Rude. With Tara already booking that lower section of the circle, Rocky is just trying to hold on to position because Random has been locking sides, and there's not many places that he can actually play from, and he's pretty darn low.
Yeah, but Rocky, he needs to swim over with the blue taking bit by bit of his life there. I'm not sure how fast can he swim at this point. On the side of EVOS VIP, they are holding at the cliff or along the shorelines of Hat-Tin. With so many teams coming in, we're talking about 1 more team out, which is going to be Nap Brother. AV taking Kingsman down, while AV, they are struggling. A lot of team members of other teams are bleeding now, including Rocky, but Geek Fam tried to shut every team possible. We're down to the 6th phase here, and the circle's gonna hurt so bad. The players are forced to get out from their hiding spot.
You can already see all these sort of players are dropping out like flies outside of the play zone, and man, Zane, he's trying to actually set up all these smokes so that they can just squeeze by to face against Tara as a team.
Oh no, look at that spray coming out. Oh, Zane got clipped quite a lot, even the blue's not forgiving. EVOS taking the opportunity to wipe down Geek Fam. And Playzone is not favoring them as well. Geek Fam plays themselves really close to dropping out into the lobby. 5 teams, oh, make it 4.
Yeah, EVOS have a chance here. They're coming in from the shorelines. Nobody is there. Terra's right in front of them. If they take the fight against Terra, they might even win this. But Geek and XR from FV, both of them are just biting the blue. They should be ended. They should be ending very, very soon as XR will be finished up by Geek QB. And Geek QB still very much alive. He's the only one that's standing for Geek's fam. Terra on that side and EVOS on the others.
Oh man, QB, he was only one tick of help from Dev, and EVOS now have to focus over the side of Terra, already getting 1 knock possible. And with 3 more members left, Terra, oh, that big nade though! If they connect one more, that will be the demise of Terra.
Oh, now down to Tara, trying to hold their grounds. We're talking about EVOS might just take this back away of chickens. And they keep tossing a lot of nade Achilles on the side of Tara. They have no place to run, nowhere to go, with the blue ticking bit by bit, pressuring all the players. Geek QB places at 3rd place, but now Samson knocked down first. And seems like Tara might just get this one in the back. It's going to be anybody's game.
Oh my god, EVOS only has 1 player left. Everybody's down. It's only Luxy. There's 4 players still left from Terra. Can they get this kill? Actually, Luxy coming from the side will try to save his teammate here. But time is ticking down. They are all running on towards him. Terra should have this game in the bag. Just 1 more play for them to finish off. But Luxy will be able to pick out his teammate there. And both of them will be in fighting chance. But can he heal up though? They are eating the blue as well. Terra is pushing on towards them. Where can they run?
And it's only very little room for them to actually work with 4 members all charging in. The Wall Horses is here!
no.
And Mappin will be able to get the knock on the right side of Luxy. Now down to Kuza. Kuza will go down. Terra Assassino will be able to secure the last chicken dinner for Group A versus Group B in this final week.
They didn't go for the kill just now, even though they got knocked down. They saved their teammate with all 4 men back up on their feet and take the rest of EVO's VIP.